Monkeys very likely to ban away the Kalista, so a pick that Yuki definitely had a great performance on will be taken away. And Unicorns can look to get themselves an early Talon if they want. And it's a question of whether or not Mysterious Monkeys want to try and ban it away, because Unicorns, they can just early pick the Cho'Gath. I think it would be smart for Mysterious Monkeys to ban that away right now.
Yeah, the Caitlyn was the one that they banned, and of course the Unicorns on their side, they got rid of the Alistar and now the Thresh. So 2 support bans targeted Dreams. Last time, remember, on that cow, he was doing well. And remember, the cowbell, that was the key to success.
It was. We now have undeniable proof that cowbells do in fact result in success. So Kalista was the choice of bans, exactly the same bans. I'm expecting the same sort of picks here. They go for the Cho'Gath. Now, what they could do, Mysterious Monkeys, is to get themselves an early Gnar. Make sure that Kikis has a favorable matchup, you still have strong team fighting, and then you can round things out with the Maokai as well, so that you still have that strong topside presence coming out from Kikis and Mesa.
That's always a possibility. Now, the Maokai was a large part of their success, so they will lock that in. And it looks like they might be opting into the Braum early pickups. They really want to make sure Dreams has something he can disengage with. No, it's the Rakan again.
So they are going with exactly the same draft that they went with in Game 1. If we've got anything to go by, it'll be a Jhin Braum coming out from the Unicorns of Love this time around. I think this is a bit of a gamble from the Mysterious Monkeys. I think the Braum would have been a much safer option, but Mysterious Monkeys are saying, you know what, we value the engage more than the ability to peel and disengage. So let's see how it works out for them coming into Game 2.
2 more seconds. Unicorns really letting this one go down to the wire, and they lock the Talon. Exileh just says, I don't care what you're playing, CozQ. I'm going to delete people.
Always a risk early rotating the Talon. What we saw come out from Caps was the Cassio. Not only is it one of CozQ's comfort picks, but also we saw him have a great game 2 with it as well. So I would not be surprised if Mysterious Monkeys went for an early Cassio themselves.
All right, so the Unicorns have decided to pick the Xayah away, separate the lovers in this one. And what are the Monkeys going to pick up? Do they take the Cassiopeia, as you were alluding to?
So this is fascinating now, because if you go for the Cassio, then the AD carry pools become very limited, and you don't have many great choices for what goes well with the Rakan. Ooh, and the Vladimir coming out as well. Okay, so we can talk a little bit more about this matchup later on, but this is definitely a proactive move. Remember, early on in the day, we saw the Vlad come out in the second rotation of bans from the Unicorns of Love, and then they picked the Talon. So it's definitely considered a counter pick, at the very least, by Exileh, and it's something that CozQ has brought out during the regular season. So again, we'll expand more upon it once we actually get into game.
Yep, Braum is now banned as we enter ban phase 2 on the Serious Monkey side. And there goes the Gnar. So Monkeys, all bets on that. Vladimir focusing instead of the top on the mid lane. We'll see what they decide to ban away again. Do they hit Hylissang's pool? And it is the Taric. 2 fabulous bare-chested men banned out.
I'm fascinated as to what AD carries now. Oh, okay, Varus, perfectly fine all-in champion.
Okay.
I think it works just nicely. You don't have the same sort of reliable follow-up in the sense that you have a huge amount of ability to close the gap, but you've got decent range, you've got the ulti to follow up, you've got the E to do a fair amount of burst damage. I think it's absolutely fine. You just can't take advantage of the long-range shielding and mobility that Rakan would typically have with the Xayah.
Yeah, can still combo up and make those big plays, however. Just not quite as effective. Now over to the Unicorn side, last couple seconds tick down, and they lock Kench for Hylissang. Last time around, he was dying pretty quickly on that Thresh. This time he'll have more of a health bar and shielding to work with, and would they do it?
Oh, lock it in, lock it in, lock it in, lock it in. Oh, wait, what am I talking about? Of course they're not going to lock it in. They've already got the Talon.
I was going to say for Xerxe.
I got debated so hard, man.
I mean, they could do it for Xerxe, right? But like, it's going to be Gragas. It's boring.
God damn. You got me so excited there, Pyro.
I thought it was going to be for Xerxe.
No,
seriously.
It's never going to be for Xerxe.
All right, well, it's Gragas.
It is Gragas.
Okay.
We still have a Talon, though. We can't complain, Pyro. We still get to cast.
I mean, it's like, what, his 4th game on it now? It's old news.
It's old.
Kayn is the new hotness here in the LCS.
Very true. It's very, very true. So, rounding things out for Mysterious Monkeys. Gnar is banned away. Oh, okay. So they could shift things up here.
Ooh, okay. The focus might be on Kikis after all, as the Jax is locked in.
So, I think this is an awful bit.
Okay, tell me why.
Because I think that you're putting too much emphasis on trying to build this split push composition when I don't think that you should. because what Unicorns of Love have demonstrated time and time again is that when 1-3-1 was a popular meta, they were really good at answering it because they would just group mid and kill you. They've also got an answer in the form of Talon. Now, while Talon doesn't necessarily do extremely well against Xerxe later on, you will not have an easy laning phase against a Cho'Gath as a Xerxe. If he goes for something like an early Blade or an early Gun Blade, then he'll be fine. But I think you should have just drafted Teamfight. Like, I don't know what the reversion to Jarvan is, man. I think it would have been so good in this conversation. You have Vladimir, you have Varus, you have so much tools to engage, and then you have so much follow-up. What's a Xerxe going to do when he gets into the fight? Like, you cannot dive onto Xayah. Talon has too much mobility. Your only options are really focus the front line, and Xerxe doesn't really do percentage health damage, so I think it was a selfish pick. I think he's tried to pick it because he wants to be a carry, and I don't know if it'll work. I have my doubts, Pyra.
Yeah, well, it has definitely been a series for doubts, absolutely. But it is a gamble for the Monkeys as they find themselves on the precipice of taking down a top-tier team in the Unicorns of Love. And on the other side, the Unicorns were hoping to bounce back from a disappointing Week 7, and instead, they might be the team to fall to Monkeys, which would not be great for their playoff prospects. So there is a lot on the line in this Game 3 to close out Week 8. We will find out how it all shakes out. For the third time, we're going to be heading on to Summoner's Rift.
Of love.
There are a lot of animals in the crowd as well. All right. Well, we're certainly in for some action. This series has been nothing if not full of kills, Vedius.
It certainly has been. We've had a lot of murder on the Rift over the last few games. Finally, the crowd rallies behind the lone unicorn Yeller.
I mean, there's definitely some monkeys there.
There are indeed some Monkeys fans.
We saw the one backstage earlier on.
We did, like the actual monkey.
The very mysterious
or
monkey.
the flying monkey bat thing that Trevor alluded to.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen Wizard of Oz, right?
I have indeed seen Wizard of Oz.
I know you're a young man, but I didn't know if you were...
Follow the yellow big road.
I mean, you need an R in there, but I'll give you that.
And also tap your little red shoes 3 times, and you can go home.
I mean, this has definitely been a game worthy of Oz, I would say. A lot of weird stuff going on.
Yes. I always... was it the tin that wanted a hat? Is that what he wanted?
No, the tin wanted a
heart. Sorry.
You're almost there, but you're not spelling it right, Vedius.
Oh man, words super difficult today.
Yeah, I mean, it's been one of those series for sure, and you can see it in both games combined. We've had 33 and 31 kills for both teams, so they've not been shy of action. But we do got to zero in on this Jax pick. You were not a huge fan of this in the pick and ban. What can the Monkeys do to make sure this does get them the win?
Snowball. Just so many ganks need to happen top lane. All I want to see is amazing gank after gank after gank after gank, trying to get this Jax ahead. It is so important to get him rolling, get him a bit of lifesteal in this matchup, because all the Cho'Gath is going to do is push, 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 push. And there's very little that you're going to be able to do to really handle it.
Yeah, no kidding. So we'll see what they're able to get done here. In the meantime, Samux and Hylissang are getting pushed back just a little bit, but Hylissang, of course, once he has that gray health, it won't matter too much. Level 2 is now on for Yuki and Dreams. And we do want to keep eyes on Amazing once he finishes off his red buff. If he heads back up towards that top side, try and get that kill out. And of course, in the mid lane, there's going to be action in every lane, I feel like, Vedius.
So yeah, let's talk about this mid lane matchup, because Vladimir is being used as an answer to the Talon. And some people might be wondering as to why the Vladimir does in fact counter this. So it's extremely difficult at any point in the game for Exileh to all in on this matchup. We don't have time because the gank's happening top lane, Pyra.
All right, leave strike flash, and there it goes, Xerxe. He tried to come in a little bit too late, not able to get it happening, but now that's the first trip up by the Unicorns jungler. Amazing is nowhere to be found as of yet.
So already Summoner spell down for Kikis. Vizicsacsi landed a great knockup and things. Already looking a little bit dire for that Jax. Now, it's still very early on in the laning phase. I want to see Xerxe make some kind of return gank in the top side of the map. But let's see how things progress. There's a bit of division comes out from Dreams in the enemy half of the jungle.
Yep. A bit of division in the crowd. Starting to see the Monkeys fans coming out in force, and with good reason. These guys have certainly had better performances over the weeks and still not the cleanest of executions. We thought all hope might be lost after the Vitality series that didn't really show us a whole lot, but the Monkeys have come out swinging in this series today. Even off the back of a few Unicorns' mistakes, that's got to inspire some confidence when you can close out a game against one of Europe's best.
Yeah, I was impressed with the Mysterious Monkeys early game, in Game 2, the utilization of the Shen, the fact they hit level 6 and they immediately ulted bot lane, the fact that Maokai ulti was ready to try and lock up a lot of the low mobility members. I thought it was really well played overall. And I want to see them try and repeat that kind of early game success. And they can do it, but they just need to invest in the top side of the map. I'm super skeptical of this Jax pick. I have no idea what he's going to do in these team fights. I personally think he's going to be pretty useless, but we'll see. You know, I've been proved wrong before.
I mean, we've seen a lot of useless Jax in team fights.
Yes.
Let's be honest here. And they're playing for a defensive start, right? Because like there's 3 Doran shields. Obviously, there's some level of standardness on there. As the crowd is extremely excited for one Mysterious Monkey to be going through, but the rest of them on the Rift right now, it's going to be a holding pattern until we start to see those plays. Amazing, a little bit occupied at the moment instead of trying to make a play up towards the top. Looking at clearing away the Scuttle Crab.
He is like the flying monkey from the Wizard of Oz.
Where are the wings, though? Oh, they don't have wings. Man, it has been a while since I've seen it. I just assumed they had wings.
Well, all right, let's focus in back on the game. We've had a lot of interaction with the crowd. We've had a lot of monkeys appearing. So far, we're seeing
unicorns appear.
Yes, we do. That's exactly right. We want to see the unicorns step up. It's very important for their fans that they do get the win. Knock up.
Stepping forward, it's Dreams. He went in. Samux just spit back out, and there's the tongue onto Dreams to stop him up for just a second.
You can see Rakan getting a little annoyed by the fact that Samux is literally eaten in his entirety and put into Hylissang's mouth.
That was a very explicit way to say that.
But also the other thing to say about this mid lane matchup is, look at the amount of harassment that CozQ is throwing down onto Exileh. He's being forced to use all of his mana on just clearing away these waves. He has constant sustain, and once he has that empowered Q, he can just go all in.
Emo Plague and Income's amazing. Let's see if they can go for him here. He's going to hop the wall. Parkour's there. There's no more follow-up damage, but Amazing was on the way. Amazing just hasn't been able to find the gank so far this game. He's 1 level down on Xerxe, sitting at level 5. See, back to the bottom lane. It is Dreams who gets pushed back as he battle dances. Yuki pushing in on this tower. Of course, the Varus range certainly going to be superior to what Samux can bring right now, and now Amazing and Xerxe will run into each other. The barrel's there. He's going to let it expire, but it takes most of the Raptors with it.
Unlucky for Amazing right there. A lot of the experience is going to be lost. Now Xerxe makes his way back to the top side. That's a big minion wave. Amazing is reading the play. Wants to be hanging around. Chachi level 6, though.
Oh, boy. Chachi waiting and waiting and waiting, and all of a sudden, in comes the Cho'Gath, insta-flash out of Amazing. He's not messing around.
Yeah, good flash. You have to, because you know that if Chachi's willing to go for that kind of play, there has to be some support from the rest of the Unicorns of Love. So Amazing, he doesn't want to risk it, he just disengages. Now, he's gone for the early Mobies once again. He's looking to get some early ganks. Kikis is not that far behind in terms of farm. So I want to see where they try and make plays. They have options in the bottom lane. They have options in the top lane. Mid is a little harder, because Exileh now being level 6, he has quite a lot of escape tools.
Quite a lot of swords, too.
He does.
He is a big fan of blades.
Well, he isn't a, you know, that's in his title, right? Like, he's just adding to the collection. But yeah, he's going to turn that likely into an early Duskblade of Drakthar.
Up in the top side, Kikis, he needs to be able to start dealing the damage. The Counter-Strike comes out, and he actually dodges away the Rupture. Chachi's forced the wrong direction. He does have Flash. Oh, he failed it! Kikis looking for first blood. Donk! In goes CozQ, looking for Exileh. All of a sudden, the action is unleashed. The pool's on. Exileh's parkouring away, but in comes Dreams, forcing the Flash out. That was a quick bit of action right there.
And Exileh was invisible so long.
Oh! Well, that's one way to get licked. Hylissang finding a kill for himself. Now the barrel bops Dreams back in. Even the Raptors want to get involved. An acquired taste. Stacks are on. Dreams is going to be left for dead. In all of the craziness, he tries to two-step his way out.
Someone help him! Give him a shield!
There's nobody there coming for him. Oh, this feels bad, man.
He's dead. Oh, not yet. Oh, no.
Oh, no! This is why you don't piss your girlfriend off, folks.
Samux, he's the one that ends up getting the kill in the end. So, let's backtrack. At level 6, Jax has a fair amount of damage. And if you use all your CC trying to clear the wave, Kikis can all-in you. Now, this wall is very difficult to flash, but he tried to flash at the long bit. You see that little pointy out bit there, Pirate? You don't want to flash into that. And you can see the disappointment in Chachi's face where he's like, ah, this kind of sucks. Now, CozQ, I believe he had his ulti up, but he actually didn't use it. And now we have another gank up top.
Yeah, we're not going to stop to pause for analysis here because the Cho'Gath, well, they're trying to snowball Kikis, and he gets kill number 2 with this time with a little help from his friend.
So this is perfect for the Mysterious Monkeys now. Yes, their bottom lane will fall behind a little bit, but the fact of the matter is, this Xerxe is starting to get going. TP is unavailable for Chachi. Kikis is equal in farm, but is ahead in kills and is already working towards that Blade of the Ruin King. And I think this is the best thing to build against Cho'Gath because you naturally stack health. The percentage health damage is going to be super valuable. The lifesteal will help you in the 1v1. And this is great for Mysterious Monkeys, playing exactly towards their win condition.
Yep, snowball the Kikis. Keep him on ahead for the 3rd time in this series. Amazing on this Maokai. With the roaming boots, has made it count. And Unicorns, they may have made a few things happen in this game, but the Mysterious Monkeys game plan is all coming to fruition. Let's see if they can keep it going. We're 9 minutes in right now. There is a gold lead for Mysterious Monkeys. They have tower number 1. Dare I say, this just might be working.
Well, still a lot of the game left. We've seen Xerxes get leads before, then they group up and team fight, and then their effectiveness rapidly declines. So we'll be keeping my eyes on Kikis. Many times during Challenger Series, the go-to strategy for Fnatic Academy was get Kikis ahead and watch him win the game. And that worked many times, but when you play against LCS players, you also have a lot of talented individuals that can match that kind of carry potential. Samux being one of them that we often look at.
That is very true, but at the same time, Kikis was one of those players that him being in Challenger always raised a lot of questions. Like, why wasn't this guy in LCS? He got his chance once again, and he's making big plays now. Speaking of big plays, Samux and Hylissang trying to make it happen down bot, but Yuki and Dreams, we're ready.
And UOL, they want to try and make a play onto Yuki. He did have a fantastic Game 2 performance, and Exileh is roaming around the bottom side of the map, but Yuki definitely a play we want to highlight coming into this final game because, man, his Kalista was good. 9-1-9, so much better in terms of the laning phase. His damage per minute nearly matching that of a Cho'Gath, which is insane in the current meta.
Yeah.
But the amount of mobility, his kiting in a lot of those fights, very, very impressive. And this is good for the Mysterious Monkeys because we wanted to see the return of the consistent Yuki, the guy that maybe he wouldn't carry your game, but you could rely on him to have a pretty solid performance. And it turns out that not only can he have that solid performance, but he can also carry the game.
Yeah, and if you notice, he can do it while drinking his coffee too. He's a man of many talents, Vedius. But this is so big for the Monkeys. Like, at the end of the season, you're 2 games back on Vitality. You want to avoid the relegation battle in your first LCS split. If they can beat the Unicorns, there is definitely a chance that they can keep this moving forward because everybody in the bottom of that table is going to have to face off against the top-tier teams in that group. Monkeys, it's a big statement battle for them. And
it's also good for other teams in Group B, right? Because they're recognizing the weaknesses that UOL are demonstrating that they have not been adapting post-Rift Rivals. And while there certainly are strengths, Exileh seems to be so much better right now in terms of his consistency and his champion pool. Other members of the team are not matching up to that.
That is the unfortunate thing for the Unicorns of Love. One thing that's great, though, for the Monkeys, Kikis, he's got his Blade of the Ruin King already. CozQ holding the line down mid, still with that CS lead, and now Exileh is caught.
No flash.
Oh, he is going nowhere, trying to hop that wall. He does, but CozQ following over. One more parkour. He's burning, but CozQ is right on top of him. And he pulls out the last bits of blood. CozQ coming up with a kill.
And remember the thing about this mid lane champion is Dreams. He's going in.
Oh boy, Battle Dance and the quickness is on, and they've got the root up as well. Amazing. This collapse from Mysterious Monkeys just seems incredible, but unfortunately they didn't have the follow-through damage now. Not respecting how much the tower could do as Samux tags in. Featherstorm is on, looking for CozQ. He's able to find him, and the Unicorns turn it around.
Fantastic barrel from Xerxe right there. Completely splitting up Mysterious Monkeys and forcing them to be in a really awkward spot that allowed Unicorns to get this turnaround under the tower and keep their mid-tier 1 alive. Overall, though, really good initial play from Amazing and CozQ, getting that kill down onto the Talon. You want to shut down that early snowball, put him behind as much as you possibly can. But now, the Rift Tower will be started. I don't think Mysterious Monkeys are going to try and challenge.
Nah, not necessarily worth.
Nah, mate.
It's all about trying to defend him. I mean, I would say, like, maybe, but nah, they got this.
Nope, they're going to walk away. They will take that. This will be great for taking that mid-tier 1 later on. So let's have a look. Over the wall, he gets spotted on the ward from the river. Unfortunately, CozQ can't be dealing any extra damage, so he flashes over the wall to try and hit him. And because of the bonus movement speed that he has from his mastery, that allows him to chase him down and get that kill. And just keep your eyes on what Xerxe does with the barrel hit. So the collapse comes in, and then he gets this great barrel onto Yuki, CozQ, and Kikis. And that just separates Kikis and Yuki from dealing all the damage. CozQ's got no skills left. And then UOL, they just come in for the collapse. And CozQ ends up losing his life because he gets split off from the rest of the team with a really good ulti from Samux. And ends up being a 1-for-1 overall.
Yes, indeed. All right, so 3-3. It is now a slim lead in the gold for Mysterious Monkeys. But they have that X factor, they have that Jax. They've started the snowball going. He's taking his place down bottom, and maybe the mighty Cho'Gath has met his match, Vedius.
Well, maybe. I love the Blade of the Ruin King rush. I think it makes so much sense against the Cho. UOL, though, they are setting up around this dragon. Kick is very mindful of how many members there are, and the ping's going down onto that tier 2 in the top lane. They're saying, look, we see what they're going for. We're willing to sacrifice this, excuse me, if we can get that tower in the top lane.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to leap strike away, so even though they commit quite a lot here to try and get down on the bottom side, they will not get that kill onto the Jax. Tower is going to easily fall, but there's a big wave of minions approaching the top tier 2. Yuki is already at it, going to be joined up by Dreams. And the objective trades continue. Mysterious Monkeys, though, I feel like for the first time in this series, in games 1 and 2, it wasn't quite the same. They're the ones who are making the plays first.
They definitely seem to be pretty proactive right now. Here comes Exileh, though. Does have his
wall, looks for Dreams. Quickness is on, he gets charmed up. But Exileh is fast. Unfortunately for him, Dreams is faster.
Oh no, Yuki, you have no flash, but Mysterious Monkeys, they choose to disengage. They don't want to run the risk of overextending. So yeah. Exileh, he will not be getting any kills today.
Yeah, this Talon is still a pretty deadly pick once he starts rolling on those kills, but you got to look at that first number next to his Dustblade, a big fat 0 right now. 16 minutes, that's not where Exileh wanted to be, and they early picked this Talon.
It was what they did against Fnatic in Game 3. Exileh was even able to get his second solo kill over Caps on the champion. But he's not quite having that same level of success as UOL coming mid.
Oh, bad time for CozQ to go in, but he's got Pool on. Chemo Plague is taken. Exileh takes the damage from that, but not the most optimal as the Rift Herald is coming in. Xerxe gets stopped. Kikis cancels that teleport, and looks like they're going to get another kill for this Jax, but the Cho'Gath is angry. The 2-man Rupture knocks up. Blade of the Rune King is there, and Kikis should be able to get the finishing blow. It actually goes the way of Amazing, but meanwhile, the Rift Herald was wreaking havoc in the mid, and it's able to take down a little bit more damage on that second tier.
That was actually an exquisite play from Kikis. The fact that he is able to interrupt the TP so that Xerxe cannot get away means that they don't actually have the TP advantage. We'll have to look back at the replay. I was so focused on what was happening mid in the setup.
Looks about even.
That I didn't actually see where Kikis came from. But the kill goes over to Amazing. Mysterious Monkeys, they do lose the mid tier 1, which is pretty bad for them, considering that they're playing up against Talon. Preferably they want to try and get that before him. This is going to give him a lot more options to run around the map now. See if he can get back into that snowball state. Look for some squishy targets.
Yeah,
Let's have a look. So here we go. So they actually just used the TP to get the punish onto the Cho'Gath. He's expecting the TP to come out, and so, he doesn't even flash in. Really good play. And the thing is, the one thing that Kikis doesn't know is when the ulti is coming back up for Xerxe. So rather than risk it, he just disengages here. You see, doesn't want to bother getting eaten, and allows Amazing to get the kill. So I think that was pretty smart.
That is one way to get the outplay. So a little bit of help from Amazing now. Mysterious Monkeys are onto the mid. We're going to dash out, respecting the damage that Exileh can bring. Xerxe is still starting to roll forward, and it looks like there are 2 unicorns on that dragon as well.
Or at the very least, making their way past the dragon, going on a romantic breeze through the river. Romantic stroll through the river, rather. And, a lot of deep vision coming out from the Mysterious Monkeys side. If we can just have a look at some of it, you can see a lot being set up around the blue buff, along with just on the Raptors. So a couple of entrances covered from the side of the Mysterious Monkeys. And the Unicorns of Love, they're matching it with their own vision, covering mainly the top half, setting up for that Baron, which will be spawning in about a minute and a half.
Yep, vision gained by them. And, you know, I want to go back to a point we had in an earlier game. Because the guy who has gotten the kills for Unicorns, well, I'll go back to it in a minute.
Is it Exileh?
It was, but it wasn't this game. Kikis flashes away. It's Samux, actually. He's got 2-0 on this Xayah. How is he going to be able to help them turn the tides in the later stages of this game? Because Xayah is not a half-bad team fighter.
No, she's not at all. I think she's an excellent team fighter. She scales extremely well. Her ability to self-peel with her ulti. Hang on. Fight in the bottom lane.
Yep, it's Chachi v CozQ. Feral Scream. Oh, he gets hit by the end of the Rupture. Tides of Blood. Ignite is on. Exileh kills Kikis off screen while it all happens. And CozQ's going to run right into the Tahm Kench, but Hylissang is unable to save the life of his mid laner.
He can win this 1v1 though.
The swallow. Can CozQ do it? He's locked up under tower. That is a slow pool, and the Tahm Kench is sticky right now, trying to get that lick on, and he does it. Just keep on going, but he is a sustaining Vladimir. This could be a long fight.
Oh my god, this is a very long fight.
Let's jump back in with the mid. Forget what's going on bottom. Tower goes down.
Hey!
Observers got juked.
I was not actually expecting him to get that kill there.
Splat.
But Exileh died, Kikis died, all kinds of deaths happened.
Yeah.
A lot to recap, we'll get to that in a second. Let's look at the current state of the game. UOL, they've grouped up as 2 members, now 3 in the middle lane. They have a wave, they don't want to push it though. So let's have a look at exactly what happened. So Kikis, remember, he just got ganked. He just used this flash from Exileh and Xerxe coming up top. Oh, he goes to the 1v1. Wow. And because of the invisibility, he ends up dying. And then Amazing's like, haha, I have Moby Boots. I don't care if you have Flash, I kill you.
That is a fast tree.
Yes. And this is the 1v1 that we did in fact see. I feel like CozQ maybe should have used his Ignite a little earlier. But still, he ends up getting the kill. And the moment he sees Hylissang here, he's like, I will kill you. This sucks.
And then we get the fast forward.
Yeah, he gets thrown underneath the turret as well. Really good play from Hylissang.
All right. Today we learned Catfish greater than Vampire.
And he's going to get a slap into a gobble, into a bleh.
Can't pull out of that.
As Paul would say, brep.
Well done.
That's an old Tekken reference for you.
It's a pretty good one, man. It's been a while. But there's been a lot of kills back and forth, so it kind of feels like a fighting game right about now.
Oh, it certainly is a fighting game.
Well, we're 21 minutes into this one. No one's looking at the Baron just yet. It has been all about trying to move around and find the side fights. Once again, Kikis 1v1 and up against Chachi in power. Strikes keep on coming. He leaps forward. There's a lot of minions there, and Chachi's going to have to zone him out with the Rupture.
Every time we get these 1v1 fights, in my head, I've always got the Mortal Kombat music playing.
That's the best music for 1v1.
Here we go.
Yep, quickness is on. And test your might. It's Xerxe and Hylissang looking to turn their attention over to CozQ. Barrel's going to knock people, and it is chaos on the Rift right now. Yuki's going to get away from this one, and there's a lot of roots going down onto the Unicorns, and they have caught out Exileh. Nowhere for him to go, and Dreams with a Gleaming Quill is going to finish it off, and Chachi takes down CozQ, and his 2 mid laners dropped already. Hylissang swallowing up. Amazing. And they're able to shred the bark off that tree. He knows there was nothing for him to do. A double kill over to the Cho, and the Unicorns, they eyeball the Baron.
And this is the power of their composition, their ability to turn fights in their favor. Not only because they have the numbers advantage, but because of how where they are in the game. 2 items finished for Samux. Big, righteous glory finish for Vizicsacsi. There's no jungler on the side of Mysterious Monkeys. They're gonna lose this Baron. The question is, can Kikis get that tier 2 tower in exchange?
He's trying. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Goes the... Whatever the hell Jax actually has, I can't remember. It's not a real weapon. But the Baron's going down. Kikis keeps going. He's going to be able to shred it. In power, once again, the backs are there, but he's got it at the end of the day. It's a lamppost, that's what it is.
So Mysterious Monkeys, this was the weakness of the Jax. He's not that great in team fights, and Mysterious Monkeys, they overextend in the middle lane, and they try to make a fight happen when they really shouldn't have. So Yuki, he's able to stay alive here, which is a great setup for him because Talon, usually really good at killing low mobility AD carries, but CozQ's just left on the sidelines because Amazing's trying to peel for his AD. There's no support there from CozQ, and if Kikis had been in this fight, maybe they could have actually turned it in their favor, but instead his focus was on getting those towers, but they ended up losing a Baron for it. So Unicorns of Love, they're still behind in the gold, but in terms of the pressure, they definitely should have the advantage because now they can just group mid and try and force another play.
Yeah, 4 towers taken up by Mysterious Monkeys, starting to make up some of that gold difference here at 23 minutes. However, the Unicorns with this Baron, it's 7-7 in kills. It could be anybody's fight for sure, or it's clearing out. A little bit of a bait here, but the sapling toss is going to reveal Vizicsacsi, Xerxe, and Exileh trying to make plays. And Hylissang and Samux were not too far behind as they chip away at the vision of Mysterious Monkeys. CozQ zoned away by those minions. There's that last outer turret that the Unicorns have yet to crack. up in the top side, they should be able to do it, as there's really no way they can mount the defense. But for Mysterious Monkeys, it's all about Kikis on that bottom side. Can they buy time for him?
I think it's dangerous for him to just hard commit into this bottom lane, though. Yeah, I think this is smart. Back off here with the rest of your team. You just got to stall out this Baron buff for as long as you can. Even if you lose a tier 2 here and there, it's not the end of the world. You still have the side lane advantage. Trinity Force has been completed for the Jax as well. And it's just important that Mysterious Monkeys don't get goaded into going into a full 5v5 team fight. Use CozQ to play on the side lane. Use the Vladimir, knowing that he can win out on these 1v1s. He's now got the Zhonya's too, so he should hold his own against Exileh. I think Mysterious Monkeys, there are plenty of win conditions available, but it's a matter of whether or not Unicorns of Love can force them into the fights, and if they can utilize their own win conditions of fight, fight, fight.
Yeah, fight, fight indeed. That is how to describe the Unicorn style. Now Samux, he's not looking too shabby for items either. He has himself a Phantom Dancer, a little bit more defensive, so he's trying to get away from some execution damage. And now, the Unicorns are looking to push their way into tier 2. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Samux and Hilly were coming to the party. In comes CozQ, Blade Caller's out, instant exhaust, and in goes the Jax. And we've seen a Jax fail at those team fights before, and Hylissang gets the lick. Meanwhile, tower goes down. They've isolated Amazing from the rest of the pack, and the Unicorns do right what they do best. Take those fights and run it down mid. CozQ trying to finish off Vizicsacsi, but Hylissang says, what do we say to the God of Death? Not today, monkeys.
What did we say, Pyra? Mysterious Monkeys do not want to be goaded into a fight. This is the Baroned up Unicorns of Love squad that is poised and ready to force the 5v5, and it is Mysterious Monkeys that try to make it happen. Samux with the beautiful ultimate to stop any follow-up crowd control from the initiation of CozQ is what turned the fight in their favor. And just keep your eyes on that AD carry. What you'll see is the flash on, immediate silence, and he does not get stunned up. He gets rooted on the backline. You think he's going to die? No. Xerxe with another great barrel, and then you have Hylissang saying, I don't need to provide peel anymore because they can 2v1 Amazing. Just beautiful fight executed from the Unicorns of Love, getting onto those primary targets and making sure that their own carries stay alive for as long as possible.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mysterious Monkeys got a little baited into that one, and sometimes monkeys seem like
they just went in, Pyro. They just tried to fight for no reason at all when they didn't need to. All they had to do was
they saw the Unicorns wanted to do it, and they said they could take it, but that was a bad idea.
It was such a gamble.
So Unicorns have the gold lead now. They've got the tower lead as well. And off the back of that Baron, they were able to do quite a lot. As Amazing does nab back the blue buff himself, but this is starting to get a little hairy here. They just can't provide enough of a front to stop Unicorns from breaking down the front door and allowing Kikis to go through the back.
It's a tough call now for Mysterious Monkeys. What can they do? Because playing side lanes isn't really an option anymore, because now that your base is exposed, it's super easy for Unicorns to just be like, yeah, if you leave side lane, we're just going to run at your base. So they're always going to be forced into these fights, and maybe they can win a team fight, but it's going to require some exceptional execution from the side of Kikis and CozQ. And all UOL have to do is be patient, because they will slowly walk their way into the base. Every time Mysterious Monkeys force the fight, they have so many disengage tools, and they just have to ulti the right skills, and they'll walk out scot-free. So I think that things definitely looking really good for the Unicorns of Love.
But it is worth noting how the Unicorns got into this situation in the first place, Vedius. It was not necessarily being patient. It cost them when they decided to go for that big Baron play last game, and it was turned around by Monkeys. It's a different game today, though, it would appear, and the Unicorns not taking too many chances here, firing down with their siege on this tower. Booted up, Xerxe, he's able to dash away at the end of it, though. Wave's cleared. 1v1 once again. Kikis. Does he fancy his chances up against this later game Cho'Gath? Gargoyle Stone Plate alongside the Righteous Glory and a Bramble Vest. I don't know if that's what you want to be hitting.
Ooh, Bramble Vest. That's actually really good into the Jax as well. Gonna apply those Grievous Wounds now. Amazing, taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, he wishes he had one of those himself. Exileh hopping the wall here. Samux pulling back the feathers with the Blade Collar, and they can just afford to wait, keep on pushing. Exileh running from mid to bot constantly.
Keeping those waves pushed in. You can see Mysterious Monkeys being spread thin, but Jax returned to the top side. They can't afford to push. Oh, instead they're going
to try.
They're going to try. TP is available for both top laners.
Yeah, we've seen Kikis interrupt one before, but he may not win in a 1v1 versus Chachi here. There is a level advantage, of course, for Kikis, but I'm not so sure about that one. Meanwhile, Samux, Xerxe, they found no one at home to defend this turret. So they take tier 2 down on the bottom, and Kikis, of course he can't keep going. Look at that Cho'Gath.
Yeah, he doesn't want a hard commit. But look down in the bottom lane, you can see Yuki.
Oh, they're going to swallow up here, and it's going to be Yuki taken out before Dreams can even hit Hylissang. That's going to be a quick pickup, and Monkeys are going to have to hold on for dear life here as the Unicorns are knocking at the door.
007 scoreline for Xerxe. He sneaks his way into the Mysterious Monkey's base. They get the pick onto Yuki now, 5v4. They're going to rush it down.
Teleport for Chachi in here. They want to end this one right here, right now. Into the root he goes, but it doesn't matter. He's perfectly happy. Kikis with the counter-strike. Not going to find anyone here as the Hemoplague is on to 2. They're rooted up, though. Chachi, he just doesn't care right now, and they're going to be able to keep on pushing. As soon as the minion wave arrives, but they don't want to go in without any backup.
So Mysterious Monkeys, they throw everything and the kitchen sink at the Unicorns of Love. They end up catching it and realize, oh, hang on, wait a minute. Why are we trying to siege onto this base when we have no minions left? And that was the primary goal. Mysterious Monkeys, you're trying to delay, wait for Yuki to respawn so that Mysterious Monkeys can still play towards the later part. But I don't even know if they have much of a late game left. Sure, Vladimir gets stronger and stronger as the game progresses, but so does Samux. And so does this Cho'Gath. It's going to be even harder to kill this frontline Exileh. He's going to make it even easier to kill these squishies. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Yuki, he just gets ulted on. He's just trying to clear the waves. There's nothing you can do.
A lot of deaths off screen this game, and it certainly has been a drama. And a lot of quick picks here, and we might see a few more as Chachi looking for Amazing, forcing the flash out. In comes Xerxe. Man, he is real fast right now. Amazing, nowhere for him to go, but the quickness is on. He's going to take the Blast Cone Express. Amazing trying to stay alive, but meanwhile, Exileh is going to shut down Yuki. Kikis still bothered on the bottom trying to push this one in, but the time might be running out for the Monkeys.
The red buff going to re-heal Exileh as the Baron is prime and ready. Kikis sitting in the bottom lane. The best thing he can hope for now is trying to get an inhibitor.
Oh, he's got damage. Can they interrupt this Baron right now? There is no Mountain Drakes empowering this, but they certainly have the damage. They have the Cho'Gath. They're going to be able to finish it off. Let's see if they give anything for it. One inhibitor tower, but no inhibitor. Kikis walks away.
Yeah, UOL, they're going to get back too quickly. You're now starting to see why I question the Jax pick. Like, later on into the game, sure, it's certainly getting super hard for Yuki to stay alive.
Here's Yuki death cam.
Ah, okay, this is also great utilization of the Tahm Kench ultimate. Constantly dragging players around the map, being like, hey, do you want to kill Yuki?
He got denied on the parkour.
It's okay.
I mean, it's really troll.
They got the kill.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so Unicorns flexing their muscles. This is their territory. We're post 30 minutes on the game. They turned it in their favor. That is a big Baron for them right now.
Yeah.
And once again, they can just keep pushing. As soon as they find a squishy member, it's really easy for them to collapse on. That Abyssal Voyage is nearly up, and they will probably not even need it. There's a bear inhibitor in the mid. Prime for the taking.
Yeah, Unicorns of Love, they're feeling strong. They're ready. They know they can win these fights. And that means the Mysterious Monkeys, they spent so long trying to stall the game out. And now they have to stall even longer. But UOL, they will not give them the time of day. They're more than happy to make these fights happen. Double Righteous Glory, we talked about it a lot. And here we go.
All right, Amazing. He is caught up for just a second, sends out the roots, but there's a lot of damage there, and Samux is going to get it done. Hylissang and Exileh looking for something. The rest of the Monkeys had already retreated, but it's a 5v4 situation.
And the big tank for Mysterious Monkeys is now dead. TP is not available for Chachi, but he's going to go clear out. They know that the bottom wave is slow pushing. Exileh going to go catch the wave up top. And they can play on all three lanes right now. The Unicorns of Love, they have everything that they need. And they have been punishing Mysterious Monkeys so effectively time and time again. Many of these fights they have been playing spectacularly. You just have to look at Samux. This man has had a great series so far. His use of ultimates, his positioning has been what allowed the UOL squad to be able to get so far where they've done this series.
Quiet carry. Able to dish a lot of damage here. Of course, just still stacking it up with those feathers. Now they're onto the top turret. Exileh waiting in the wings to see if he can make something happen as Kikis tries for a desperate charge, but he gets found out instantly. And they turn around now, once again onto Exileh. Can they take him down? No, he's swallowed up by Hylissang. Exhaust was burned on, and it doesn't matter because he's got a bad case of Hemoplague. Can the Monkeys find anything? Two-man knock-up here. Featherstorm Blade Caller pulled back out by Samux. It is a 4v5 right now, and the Monkeys, they think they might just be able to do it. Amazing goes in. Chachi's gonna get the knock up. Oh, Chachi's gonna get the eat. I think he liked the taste of that tree right now. And that Cho'Gath is running wild. That might be the difference maker here in this game. The monkey's getting swallowed up. Samux with a dominating kill. Dreams without any allies. And they're gonna go straight into the base.
They just cannot get onto Samuel Fernandez Fort. They're able to win the fight, and they're looking to end the series.
Unicorns of Love. It was a long one. There were questionable decisions. It was far from the cleanest League of Legends we have ever seen. But I just got one thing to say to you, Vedius, and everybody at home. Are you not entertained?
Unicorns do get the 2-1 in the end. Kikis on that Jax was off to a good start, but I feel like that mid lane fight where Mysterious Monkeys tried to force it, they did the classic, Pyra. Let's use Jax in a team fight, and it just did not work out.
Yeah, you need to be able to take those four-mans. Unicorns, trials and tribulations for this team, and a very unexpected, bumpy road for them. Week 7 to week 8, back into the group. They're going to need to clean up some of those mistakes, but for today, they can hold their heads high because they managed to take a win over the Mysterious Monkeys.
Yep. And you can see that they're still sticking to their style. Very much team fight.
They definitely do.
Getting Exileh on a comfort pick where he can have a lot more success. And he nearly cost them that fight at the very end of the game, getting caught out. But the rest of his team is still able to carry through. Xerxe definitely having much better performances in that final game as well. 0, 1, and 11 on that Gragas.
Yeah, I think I've got to give a lot of credit over to Vizicsacsi, though, because, yeah, he made some mistakes. He didn't always flash the right walls. But when it mattered, he was there to eat the right person.
Oh, he was, yeah. Whenever Chachi was around, he always had to be careful of snack time. And all 3 games he played the Cho'Gath.
I hope he's full.
Well, I should hope
He was
so
chowing
too.
down.
He certainly was.
Yeah.
But his scoreline, not quite as impressive as it was in game 1, but as you rightly said, his impact is really what mattered. And you can't really show that in the scores because he was eating the right targets. The knockups that he was always landing, the silences onto those key figures was always very impressive to see.
Yeah.
And I feel like that Unicorns of Love as a whole, there's definitely a lot of things to review. But
yeah,
overall,
there's a lot of VOD to watch.
There's
sure.
definitely, they can still be pretty happy with how the series went over.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you've kind of pointed out, alluded to it a couple of times, but we do want to talk about our player of the series. It was Samuel Fernandez Fort. The man, the myth, the legend. He carried quietly a lot of the time, but I mean, he was racking up a lot of kills and not a whole lot of deaths, and he was earning them.
Yeah. Throughout the split, he has been the consistent performer of the Unicorns of Love, slowly climbing his way up to join players like Sven and Reckless, who have been considered for such a long time like the pinnacle of AD carries in Europe.
Yeah.
I feel like that you could definitely make the argument that Samux is on his way up there if he's not there already.
Something to your MVP vote, certainly from last spring. I mean, I think like he has been there. We just don't always see it, and the Unicorns don't always win, so it's kind of hard to tell.
That's very fair. That is very fair. And he has been doing a great job on the Xayah. I was a little skeptical about the Xayah Tahm Kench lane. I thought that it was a little, how well is it going to work out? But they did a fantastic job. It was 7-0-5. Overall, he played exceptionally well, and I was very impressed with what he was able to do in this game.
Certainly, and man, what a week. After an action-filled one, it's time to check out some of our highlights. So here are your LCS big plays, brought to you by Acer. Starting off, Fnatic, they secured a 2-0 win against Misfits Gaming yesterday, and Caps really found his rhythm on the Shadow Reaper. We'll see how that one all went down. That was such a great play. It's still building up, and obviously it's allowed Fnatic to get not only a map control over the place, and Hansama, oh baby, you dead, and Kane is enabled.
Why are you top lane? You have one job, you're Ashe. Don't go to side lane. Kane will kill you. Stay safe.
Yeah, this is not a fun game if you're in
No,
We're about to
no.
find out again. Oh, it's half his health bar. Just like that, the Umbral Trespass is on, but Maxlor is here. The babysitter can't keep the baby alive.
God
and
damn it,
Caps is getting another kill, but he might give his life for it as the rest of Misfits have reacted. No, he's going to flash. He's going to shadow step, and would you believe it, Caps is going to get out.
Oh my God, okay, so much credit to Caps because he's playing it so well.
Deficio was mad about that one.
Yeah.
Now, in the same series, Soaz came up with a great Gnar engage to secure the victory. Misfits Gaming ran about as fast as they could, but there was no escaping the Fnatic monster. We just cannot fight just yet. And then they look at the clock and it's like, oh, it's 35 minutes.
Look at the source flank.
Yeah, oh, here we go. Hold on, he's almost got Mega himself. There's a nice stun here. So as Power Evil's got to watch himself. Oh, a big Gnar throws them all back. There's flashes flying. And in come the Kittens once again. And now the Jarvan's in front, but a Shockwave pulls in too. Maxlor a little low. Alfari taken down by Reckless. And Fnatic, they jumped on this one. And Misfits, they were out 3 members just like that.
Yeah.
Really impressive fight there from the side of Fnatic. Xayah has been also one of the more consistent performers on the side of Fnatic, and love the different champions that he has been playing and the impact that he had in yesterday's series.
Yeah, he was definitely coming up huge towards the end of that one. Now, we saw a very thrilling finish to Game 1 between the Ninjas in Pajamas and Roccat. NIP's base was in ruins as Faxi attempted to finish off the Nexus.
Minions pushing in for NIP, but no one is there to actually take the minions and use them. There's the Faxi backdoor!
Faxi is teleporting into the Nexus! He's starting to throw the boomerangs! Where are Ninjas in Pajamas? The recalls, they're interrupted! Wadid is down! Shockwave stalls the rest of Roccat! Now Faxi in a 1v1. He's gonna get tired in a second. Flashes out of the Cataclysm. Minions pouring through. This will help out shortly. Faxi's got no flash available. He's being walloped on by Prophet. Taking a lot of damage.
The minions!
They're coming to help. The minions are on the Nexus, but Roccat have not done it.
They're not going to do it yet. They're so close.
It's not going to happen. There's no minions today.
My prediction was so close.
The Nexus is the target. There's enough support here for Ninjas in Pajamas. They've killed Wadid. They're looking for Hjarnan. Faxi's left alive. The Nexus is a focus. And NIP win their 3rd game of summer.
Oh man, what a game!
I love how in that whole replay, the only thing that the Fisher cared about was my prediction.
Dude, this entire week has been him just being like, WTF. All right, that's going to do it from us here at the caster desk. Let's see what UOL's mid laner has to say after the series.
Thank you very much, Pyra. I also have a very special guest. I am here with Exileh, but I needed to speak to Romain. We've had some strange goings on today on the Rift. One question for you before we get into the full meat of the interview. What's your feelings on other animal mascots beefing on your turf? What is this? We can have a fight club soon?
I love it. I think it's great. I think it creates a backstory, and a big part of the job as a manager is backstage, and you never see us. So the fact some managers are going a bit to this mascot position, it's fun. I love it. It was really cool.
It's very fun for us as well as we're viewing. All right, Romain, off you pop. Trot back to the rest of the unicorns. We can get on with the serious interview. That's enough of the monkey business for now. So, Exileh, thank you very much for joining us. After a back-and-forth win, 2-1 on the series, I want to talk about the Talon that you brought out. We saw it last week against Fnatic. How come you're the only EU mid laner playing Talon right now?
I think that the lethality buffs have been a bit overlooked by all the tanks. Also, we saw it with Caps playing Kayn, right? That lethality is insanely strong right now. Especially the champions that profit from Dustblade can make it really work, the lethality buff. And yeah, I think that overall Talon right now can push the wave first, usually in any matchup, level 7 or up. So I think that Talon right now is a pretty good pick.
Looks very strong, especially when you got your hands on it. You took down Caps with the Talon last week. I want to talk a little bit about his Kayn. We were talking before this interview, it was banned in the series. Is that something you've got your eye on as another mid lane pick?
I didn't believe that Kayn was that strong in this patch right now. I think that Kayn is a really strong pick in the next patch, however. But after I saw the Fnatic series, I was really impressed from how Caps played Kayn. He played it more like kind of a poke style of champion, where he just goes in the wall and presses W. Yeah, and I think that he made it work really, really well. And I think that Kayn in general right now, especially with the buffs coming in, I think that the champion is going to be a really powerhouse in the mid lane.
Looks like those lethality champions are quite good in your hands as well. I do want to take a little bit of a different turn in the interview to some of the struggles that unicorns have had over the last week or so. A 2-1 series against Mysterious Monkeys, who are in that bottom spot. Losses to Fnatic and Roccat. What do you attribute some of this rough patch for the unicorns?
Right now I'm not too sure, because I think that as a player I've struggled a lot in the past few weeks. Especially at Rift Rivals and actually even before. And a lot of criticism has got to me to some extent. But yeah, in the end, it's just that you kind of have to look forward and look what you can keep improve. Right now, I think I'm doing better than before. But however, I think that there's still a lot of ceiling to reach that I will aim for.
Certainly a lot of ceiling that we've seen out of the unicorns, and we've seen some of the adaptations you were talking about. More about your role in the team just beyond being a mid laner. we've heard from the Unicorns that you assumed a bit more of a communication role, maybe a leadership role in-game. What's been the hardest part of that for you, if that is in fact true?
I think that everyone of the team is shot calling a lot in the first place. But I think that just when we brought in Xerxe and Samux, then we kind of had to go over a lot of stuff in jungle and AD carry because they were new to the competitive environment. And this is where I caught up a lot as well about jungling and in general the map. I think we improved our play from how we played last split and the split before. And so just whenever I see an opportunity that we can go for, then I just try to call it, as everyone of the team is doing. So I think I'm just doing the part that I see I can do. And I try to bring this to the team because in the end, if you see a play, then it's your responsibility to call for it.
I'm looking forward to seeing how over time this improves as well as we head closer to playoffs. And importantly with playoffs, this win means you are now tied in series with H2K again at the top of Group B. I want to end on a positive note for you, Exileh. So one last question. What is one strength you have or the Unicorns have that you think H2K doesn't have that'll let you hold on to that top spot?
I think that H2K have been performing really bad in terms of team fighting. I think that they struggle really hard, and on the other end, I think this is the strength of us. So I think that if we get out of laning phase well, which I think that we don't have a too hard time against H2K, then I think that we can just take them down by team fighting and playing the map superiorly.
Certainly seems to be working out. Some of these late game team fights against Mysterious Monkeys were impressive from the Unicorns of Love. That'll do it for us here after a victorious series for Exileh and the rest of the Unicorns. We're going to head over to the post-game lobby.